Hello, potato, and welcome to Just Add Water Wednesday. Here in the U.S. tomorrow, it is Thanksgiving, the start of the holiday season. Now, not that we don't already have holiday decorations up and haven't for like a month now already. And Thanksgiving, traditionally, stereotypically, means going and spending time with family, perhaps family you don't see very often, perhaps family whose beliefs and opinions do not in any way mesh with yours. But not everybody is compelled to go and have turkey and stuffing and mashed potatoes and squished turnips and various pies. Some people do get to, just spend it on their own, do their own thing. And there are options for people who wish to do that. You can go to like Costco and buy like a tin with half a turkey and some potatoes and stuffing and, the stuff you need, a little pot of cranberry sauce, the things you need to have that traditional Thanksgiving meal on your own without the fuss and the muss of having to dirty the whole kitchen, and still have some leftovers if you're on your own or maybe just two people. But the economy being what it is, that's not even in the reach for some people anymore. And the big corporations do not want you to feel left out on Thanksgiving just because you can't go buy that pre-made meal at the warehouse club. And thankfully, that's where today's food comes in. From Cup Noodles, we have Thanksgiving dinner in a cup. Starting with our main course, we have turkey dinner flavored with other natural flavors, ramen noodles in sauce. Now I'm thinking that these are going to be not a soup, but like the curry cup noodle, where it is just going to be a sauce that gradually reduces as it sits there, so that when you start, it may have a nice, good amount of gravy, and when you're done, it's gonna just be pasty noodles. These are 370 calories. They contain 51% of your daily sodium, which is actually, for cup noodles, not bad. We got 10 grams of protein, and these are the microwavable style. They do come in the new microwavable safe cup. Not that we all weren't microwaving them in the cup for years when that wasn't safe, but you can now. Straightforward, you open it up, add 6.4 fluid ounces of room temperature water, nuke it for 4 minutes, let it stand for 1. This is different, and you'll see why I'm saying that in a second. Or you'll remember what the thumbnail for the picture is and realize this isn't it. And then slurp away, stir and enjoy. Cooking time varies with microwave wattage. I feel like 4 minutes will be fine, if not possibly too long for this. So yeah, for mains, we have a full-on turkey dinner. Looks like we're gonna have some corn and maybe cranberry chunks in there, and are those lima beans or green onion? What are those? What is in this? And let's see, corn syrup, of course. Green bean, it's green bean. Dried cranberry, green bean, egg, corn. So yeah, we have your full-on dinner here. We got your green beans, you got your cranberries, you got your corn. No mashed potatoes, but honestly, that could be interesting. That's not really a Nissin sort of thing though, is it? It's like more of an Idahoan sort of thing. But that is the thing I would definitely try. If you made me like a turkey dinner mashed potato thing, I would try that. Now that's dinner out of the way, but that means we must also have dessert. And the most traditional, I think at least in my life, the most traditional Thanksgiving dessert is pumpkin pie. Cup noodles, pumpkin pie flavor with other natural flavors, ramen noodles and sauce. So again, not a soup, but ramen and sauce. Now this one is 360 calories, so it's a little bit lighter, and it's 42% daily sodium. So you can eat the two of these together, which is of course what we're going to do today, and not go over your sodium. Now you can't eat anything else for the rest of the day, but you can eat both of these and you're still technically okay. This is 8 grams of protein. So I'm not sure, are we gonna have different noodles here, or is it gonna just noodles and pumpkin pie spice? This is the second cup noodle dessert thing I've ever tried. The s'mores one we tried, was it earlier this year, last year? We've done s'mores cup noodle before. And you could argue the breakfast one, being kind of an American breakfast, is also kind of desserty. It was very syrup flavored. But I'm interested to see if these are going to be like different noodles. Like, will we get orange pumpkin colored noodles, or is it just going to be like pumpkin pie spice? And the instructions on here are a little different. The remove lid, 6.4 ounces of water, that's the same. But this one you microwave for 3 minutes instead of 4, and let stand for 2 minutes instead of 1, which is interesting. And then you slurp away, and they encourage you to add whipped cream to it, which I'm not sure if we have any whipped cream. I will look though. So yeah, today we're gonna have for lunch Thanksgiving dinner in cups, and then for some reason I'm also gonna try out some Lay's salted caramel potato chips. Now, why am I trying those on a Just Add Water Wednesday that has nothing to do with salted caramel, indeed already has dessert in it? Because if I don't try them in this video, I probably won't get to them until after Christmas, and then it will be too late. Now, this is not Lay's first sweet one. We've had like the cappuccino Lay's before. I think we've done a couple other sweet flavors, and very hit or miss on those. Unwrap holiday snacks, salty, sweet, crispy, delicious. Well, I suspect at least 3 of those will be true. And these are 150 calories per, and they contain 6% daily sodium. So I think I'm just good. If I have this and just 1 serving of this, which is 15 chips, that is all my salt for the day. So I will go be eating, I guess, just steamed rice for the rest of my meals today. Well, I mean, that's just dinner at this point, though, isn't it? Potatoes, vegetable oil. Nothing super interesting in here. We got some fruit juice for color, apparently. That's interesting. Corn syrup, of course. Stevia leaf extract. So if you do not like stevia, this may be something you want to avoid. Paprika extract, turmeric extract. Again, those are colors. There is brown sugar in it, so it is actually like proper caramel flavoring in it. So yeah, we'll try that for our dessert after our dessert. Let's check out our cup noodles now, because I'm obviously not going to make them on camera. I have to go put them in the microwave, and not going to bother adding water. But you do take the lid off all the way, so we can at least take a look at it in here before I go and heat it up. Here is our turkey dinner. And yeah, you got little bits of cranberry in there, corn, green beans. See, I really, like, my eyes tell me that's green onion, but although that definitely is green onion. But I don't know, maybe not, maybe it isn't. Maybe I've never seen a sliced green bean dehydrated before, so maybe not. It smells very savory. What is that? I guess the smell and smelling is kind of like gravy, like gravy powder, like I would use to make a loco moco with. Honestly, it's kind of making me hungry. I'm gonna try one of these little cranberry bits here. Well, it's got gravy powder on it, so yeah, that didn't do anything. But yeah, that's just like brown gravy. Our seasoning here is basically just brown gravy, which isn't a bad thing. I like a bit of brown gravy. Now, obviously, it's quite salty. Although again, I mean, probably less salty than your average cup noodle, so that's not bad. But it does smell good. It looks about like what you'd expect. Lots of dehydrated produce on top, big layer of powder, cup or puck of noodles, and then of course down here we do have the empty airspace. That's all going to drop into once it melts or thaws or hydrates. That's probably the better word. Hydrates, once it hydrates. And then for dessert, we have our pumpkin pie flavor. Check that out. That sits lower in the cup. That's interesting. Oh, you know what? This obscures the fill line. It's like just there below the noodles. I don't know if you can see that. But yeah, you can't really see the fill line as well on this one. I didn't realize that until I looked at this one and said, there's a distinct fill line. That looks like ramen with like brown sugar on it, maybe. It does smell of pumpkin pie. Because I'm guessing we have like pumpkin pie spice in here, right? I'm just kind of skimming with caramel color. Corn syrup, of course. It's an American product. Onion powder. That's interesting. Was not expecting to see onion powder in my pumpkin pie. Tapioca starch, sugar, salt. I am not seeing... There's powder. Oh, it's actually powdered pumpkin in here. So this actually is It's not just like pumpkin spice, it is actually pumpkin. Because I'm not really seeing the stuff I would expect to see in pumpkin pie, like your pumpkin pie spice ingredients. So that's interesting. I mean, to me at least. Contains bioengineered ingredients. Ooh, spooky. All right, let's try a little of our powder here. Sweet. Yeah, it does taste. It does taste of a pumpkin pie flavored thing. The flavor on its own is not repellent or repugnant. I happen to like pumpkin pie. Now, of course, if you don't like pumpkin pie, you probably will have no interest in that. But no, I'm here to try it for you, so that you don't have to if you don't want to, or indeed if you can't find these. So I'm gonna go make some ramen, and then we will come back, have ourselves a Thanksgiving dinner lunch, and have some salted caramel potato crisps. Be back, well, for me in a few minutes, because I'm gonna have to cook one and then cook the other, and they'll definitely have sat before I come back here and finish like the recording part of this. But for you, it'll take just as long as it takes for the little dissolve thing to swoop around the screen. All right, our lunch is cooked. Try to put the lids back on to maybe like keep some of the heat in, especially because that was sitting while that one was cooking. And yeah, they're ready to go. So when I brought them out there to heat them up, my wife said that smelled to her like eggnog, and I kind of agree. Which, I mean, they both have nutmeg in them, pumpkin pie and eggnog. But I didn't notice nutmeg on the list of ingredients. It may have been that I may just have missed it. I wasn't reading it super carefully. So this one, I think now that it's heated up, smells less of gravy and more of and more like a turkey pot pie. So it's definitely been sitting more than 1 minute. Let's give it a stir. So it looks like it's just normal ramen noodles in there. There's nothing special about them. It's just your basic, normal Nissin cup noodle noodles. I'll make sure we get whatever gravy is up in the bottom there. You see, there's still a fair amount of liquid in there. Oh, maybe you can see. There's a fair amount of liquid still in there. And that is, by the time we're done recording, that's all going to be gone. It's going to just, between steam and soaking into the noodle itself, that will be gone. Also, I didn't notice any like dehydrated turkey in there. We've had like dehydrated. I have one of my chopsticks upside down. Let me fix that. When we did the breakfast cup noodle, it had like little dehydrated bits of egg and sausage in it. That's why the sticks didn't feel right in my hand, is I had them the wrong way around, or one of them. All right, so I think we've got it all well mixed. Now, unfortunately, we do seem to have lost a lot of the veg to the bottom. See if we can get some of that up here to the top. It doesn't smell bad. Like I said, it smells kind of like a turkey pot pie, like a frozen turkey pot pie. Now, whether or not you think that is a bad smell or not is a personal thing. Can we get some green bean here? And can we find a piece of cranberry? The cranberry does not seem... I mean, there were small pieces to begin with. Cranberry does not seem, kind of looks like red onion too, once it's all, yeah, the cranberry seems to have largely kind of disintegrated. So we may not get, oh, what is, do we have pieces of turkey? I think that's a piece of turkey. Maybe they were under. Those must have been under the noodles. I didn't see those. Did you see those before we started cooking it? Let me know in the comments, but I didn't see those. Let's grab more green bean. All right, so I was wrong about there not being meat then. There is little bits of rehydrated turkey here in our cup noodle turkey dinner flavored noodles. Give it a try. That turkey is incredibly tough. The turkey is not unpleasant, but it did not rehydrate super well. I think I can, oh, there's a piece of cranberry. All right, let's try a piece of cranberry. Just kind of on its own. Yeah, nothing. It's too small to evoke any cranberry flavoring at all. Try a piece of green bean. I mean, that kind of feels like green bean, yeah. Can we find another piece of turkey? Are there any more pieces in here? That turkey was, I mean, I could definitely feel it, but I couldn't really taste anything. Oh, such a tiny speck. Let's try a tiny speck of turkey. Yeah, it's super tough. I mean, it is dehydrated, rehydrated meat, so that's not totally surprising. Now, flavor, this is actually very creamy in flavor. Let me have another bite. It's a very creamy overall feel. Like, I guess, from your gravy. I almost get a taste of stuffing in there. It's, what seasonings were in this? Turkey broth, turkey fat. Well, it explains the turkey smell. And why it kind of tastes like gravy powdered. But I'm almost getting like a fairly decent, if maybe a little bland, flavoring of stuffing out of this. Or dressing if you prefer, depending on how you choose to prepare it. It definitely doesn't taste overly salty like a normal cup noodle. It's a very mild flavor. It tastes like almost like a slightly muted melange of like gravy and stuffing. But the creaminess is quite nice. I mean, surprisingly nice. The noodles are good. They are not overcooked. I mean, they could maybe gone a little bit less, but also they did sit longer than normal because I had to make a whole other cup noodle while this was sitting. But that's actually pretty nice. I would, if they have this available again next year, I may actually buy some of those just to have. Be like a pretty good work lunch, I think. Yeah, that is actually surprisingly decent. Now here's the one I think is where things are going to fall apart. Yeah, I'm not going to. Oh, I guess I can wipe them off. See, I'm not going to like use different chopsticks and spoons or anything because it's just not that big of a deal. Here's where I think things could fall apart. I don't think the noodles are different colored. Yeah, they're not. I wasn't sure if they would like actually bother to like give us orange colored ramen to make it look more pumpkin-y. But yeah, that's all just the seasoning. Are there any lumps of anything that were under the noodles in this one? I don't think so. And again, you've still got some liquid in here. You can see that. Hopefully you can see that because I don't want to pour it all over the table. But it does not smell as eggnoggy now. The smell is deepened a little bit. It smells of pumpkin pie. I mean, that's really what it smells of now. It was a little eggnoggy. Now, once I've said that, like, okay, yeah, that is not wrong. It does smell of eggnog. But yeah, now it does definitely smell of pumpkin. Now here's the thing. I don't know about where you are, what your traditions are, what your culture is, because, the U.S. is a large place and has many types of cultural norms, depending on which part you're in. It can go down to even like what you do in one part of a state is not what you do in another part of a state. But where I am, and in my life experience, pumpkin pie has been served either room temperature or chilled. I have never had warm pumpkin pie. So straight off, this is going to be a little weird for me because it's going to be warm pumpkin pie. But that said, we're still going to try to give it as fair a shake as we possibly can. It doesn't smell bad. It does smell of pumpkin pie, so. And remember, there's actually pumpkin in it. So let's give it a try. It's not quite right. It is pumpkin pie flavored, but and again, this could just be individual recipes. Maybe it's just not the way we make it out here on the West Coast. But it's a little sweeter. Oh, whipped cream. I forgot to check this whipped cream. Right back. I'm gonna go check for whipped cream. Haha, yes, we do have some whipped cream in the fridge. So yeah, let's try some of that on there as well. Our Warehouse Club brand whipped cream. I'm not gonna put it in the cup. I'm just gonna put some on the spoon. I totally don't remember what I was saying before I so rudely interrupted myself, but probably was stupid anyways. Yeah, there's a little extra sweetness in this, a little lightness that I don't normally get in pumpkin pie. I think that's what I was talking about. And again, that could be a different thing. Maybe in like Japan, maybe they do pumpkin pie differently. I mean, they don't necessarily know from Thanksgiving, but I'm sure pumpkin pie is probably a thing they've had, or at least is available in specialty shops or something. Let's put a little whipped cream on our pumpkin pie here. Give that a try, see what that does to it. I mean, it doesn't make it worse. Weirdly, it seems to make the noodles less sweet. That's really weird. By adding more sweetness to it, it seems like the thing I was thinking of having kind of a light, overly sweet flavor is a little undone. And I'm thinking that's maybe through with the ramen, because like I don't think this is special ramen. I think this is just normal, standard cup noodle puck ramen. But weirdly, putting the whipped cream on it did seem to make a difference in the flavor. Let me try without the cream again, just to reacclimate myself. This is drying out quickly. I'm not getting quite the light. Maybe I just didn't have enough of the flavoring. Maybe I didn't mix this one up well enough to get the flavoring quite right. But it's not repugnant. I'm gonna say it's better than the s'mores. I like it better than the s'mores. I would, if you said you have to eat one of these and you gave me one of these and one of the s'mores, I would definitely choose this one. With or without whipped cream. Yeah, these are both, all of the weird cup noodles, these unique limited edition cup noodles, have been surprisingly decent. And I don't know if that's speaks to the quality of Nissin and the cup noodle product. I mean, that is a product that's been around for, my whole life. Even in the US, cup noodles have been around, for my whole life. Before back when you had 3 options of cheese, orange, white, Swiss, and the only Asian food in the market was la choy. Cup noodles always been there. And it's interesting in these last years where they've really just started bringing out the weird flavor. No, I'm not using weird as a pejorative, by the way. Weird as in different and unusual, not weird as in, to be scorned. But these unusual, unique flavors to the US market. I'm sure in Japan they've been doing this stuff for years. But in the US we tend to get ignored when it comes to the unique flavored things. I've complained about that many times. But these have all been surprisingly decent. They've all been edible. None of them have been just repulsive or repugnant. And it just genuinely surprises me because, I've had things on here that clearly were also made with the idea of people making videos about them, TikToks, and trying them on Twitch or making YouTube videos like I am about them. And they're frequently pretty bad. I'm thinking, I'm looking at you, Hidden Valley Ranch ice cream. But, they've a lot of them have not been good. Pickled jelly beans is another that comes to mind as one that you weren't trying to make a good product, you're trying to make a funny product. And it feels like they're trying to make a funny, clickbaity, video baity, influence baity, enough that I think I'm an influencer, products, but they're actually making them fairly decent. And that surprises me in a good way. And both these are fairly decent. I would be more likely to buy the turkey one again than the pumpkin pie one. It's not bad, but pumpkin pie is fairly cheap. I can go to the same Megalomart I got this at and buy a whole pumpkin pie for like $5. So, there's really no reason to have this. I'm not going to take these both to work and have 2 cup noodles for lunch because that's like 800 calories. Which, I'm sure I've had 800 calorie lunches before. But, yeah, I just wouldn't. But I could definitely see myself buying the turkey one again. If that was available again next year, I could legitimately see myself buying some of these just to have on hand. I have tons of ramen on hand. You may figure from the amount of times I buy instant noodles from warehouse clubs and then eat one on camera that I do have a fair amount of instant noodles around. But I would consider buying that again. So yeah, Thanksgiving is set. So microwave, some water, turkey dinner followed by pumpkin pie. And you're good to go and go back and play your games or watch your shows or just go back to bed because maybe you work in retail and you have to be at work at midnight. I don't know. But Thanksgiving is done and dusted, sorted, in the books, taken care of, thanks to Cup Noodle Turkey Dinner flavor and pumpkin pie flavor cup noodles. Now for our extra content, Lay's Salted Caramel Potato Crisps. Again, not the first time they've done sweet before, and the sweet has been fairly hit or miss. Another the cappuccino, I think there was a couple of, was there like a churro one at some point, I think? They've done other ones, and they weren't all great. And Lay's is another one that's, they have so many interesting flavors from other countries, and they give us salted caramel. And then I have to go and buy the interesting flavors at the import store, where they cost as much for a teeny, like, single serving bag as you pay for this entire bag, which isn't exactly huge itself. But so let's check it out. There is a salted caramel chip. Doesn't look special, does it? It does smell of caramel, though. The bag definitely smells, not overwhelmingly, not overpoweringly, but suitably, lightly of caramel. Let's give it a try. I'm saying not as salty as I was expecting. I do get a very dark caramel flavor straight off, almost like they brought the caramel to the very edge of burning. You don't have the burnt bitterness, but it feels like it's just on the edge of it. And that could be the chip too. Maybe the chip was brought to the edge because it's just the slightest hint on the back of the tongue, at like the end of the experience. Just the slightest hint of maybe burnt, maybe just a little overdone. And maybe, you know, because I just had pumpkin pie flavored noodles, whipped cream on them, that could be affecting my taste a little bit too. So let's, you know, make accountants here. Accountants? Let's make accommodations. Let's make exceptions. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but you know what I mean, right? Let's make room for there to be some issues with my tongue due to what else I've been eating. They're not bad. I expected them to be both sweeter and saltier, and they're actually, the flavor's fairly subdued. It does taste maybe like a slightly nicer caramel. It's not like your little Brock's plastic wrapped square of caramel. Something a little bit nicer than that. I'm really not getting that much of the salt, which surprised me because usually salted caramel, well, usually a salted caramel has like just big rocks of salt on top of it, so you can't help but get that salty burst when you first bite into it. And I'm not getting that here. They're lightly sweet. They do taste of caramel. Looking just at the very, very edge, the very, very back of my tongue, at the very, very end of the experience of eating one, there's just a little slight hint of burnt. Not unpleasant necessarily, just it's there, and it does kind of alter the experience overall from eating a semi-sweet crisp to having this tiny little burnt bitterness at the very, very end. But it's not bad. I mean, as I said before, I'm not a huge potato crisp person, as you've just sat here and watched me eat like 10 of them. I really am more of a corn chip Dorito kind of person. So, I mean, that's to be considered. But again, they're better than I thought they would be. I kind of thought they'd be really salty, really sweet, and they're neither of those things. It's actually a fairly subtle caramel flavor that does not seem to be fighting too much with the flavor of the potato itself, but is also not completely overridden by it. Sometimes these kind of flavored ones, the potato can override the flavor of the crisp if the flavor is too subtle or too light. And that's not an issue here either. These are actually pretty well made, thought out, flavor balanced chips. Now, does this make me a fan of sweet crisps? No, it doesn't. But I suspect this bag will get finished. I suspect other people in the house over the Thanksgiving period may enjoy them as well. And I'm glad I tried them, and I'm glad we shoehorned them into a video about instant noodles rather than risk waiting till after Christmas. All right, that's it. That's the end of this video. I hope you found it all interesting and entertaining. Final verdict, everything here is better than I had any reason to think it would be, which I think maybe just speaks to my level of jadedness more than anything to do with the quality of stuff these companies put out. But Thanksgiving dinner is sorted. Don't need to go anywhere. Don't need to go see anybody. Just pop these in the microwave and I am good. But if you tried these, if you tried Cup Noodles Turkey, Cup Noodles Pumpkin Pie, let me know in the comments what you thought of them. Obviously, thoughts can be different. Maybe you thought they were repugnant. Maybe you don't like pumpkin pie like that much. I don't know. But I'm glad I tried them. And again, I would consider buying the turkey one again. But I am keen to know what you think of them if you've tried them. With that said, I hope you found this video at all interesting or entertaining. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. If you're in the US, have a good Thanksgiving, or at least as good as one as you can. And I'll see you in the next video.